What's up, everybody? Bill Tendo here, and tonight I'm just going to give you a real quick rundown of what's going on. Actually, I'm being pressured by my little brother. He's like, dude, you're a gamer, and there's big gaming news out today, and I want to know what you think about it, so make a video. Dude wouldn't even let me tell him on the phone what I thought about it. He's like, nah, make a video. So here I am. So today, it was announced by Sony the official release date of the PlayStation 5, and that's going to be November 12th. That's going to be for Oceania, which is Australia, Japan, and the United States, and the other markets like Europe, I believe, will be November 20th, just a few days later. So, like, the big thing to really look at here is not the release, because the release is a big deal. It really is. And there's the what there really is to look at on this is there's two different models. So what you're looking at is you're looking at an all digital model, and you're looking at a model that'll do digital plus play disc. So I definitely have a personal interest in one over the other. I'm old school, so let's get this out the way. I'm heavily biased. Get the disk drive. It is for the all digital version. It's going to be $399, so $400 for all digital. And I know it's going to be very popular with younger people. It's a lower price point, and they do a lot of digital downloads to begin with. For somebody like myself who's 40 years or older, and I'm into collecting games, I love to hold the cases. I like to look at the art. I like the feel of putting the disc in the machine or the cartridge. Sometimes you can give it a little bump, whatever. I enjoy all that. I like tactile things. I like to be able to touch things. I like to put things myself. So, for me, I would pay the extra $100 because it's $499, $500 for the other model, which has a disk drive on it. I personally am, like I said, I'm not into the digital. I've never digitally downloaded a game. Now I have emulated games, mostly expensive games. I play emulations because it's games that I might never be able to afford or otherwise get to play because they're rare. I'm never going to buy a copy of Little Samson. It's never going to happen. I only got to play and beat that game because of emulation. And so I have no problem with digital files per se, but when it comes to gaming and collecting, I want to own. I want to have the disc. I want to have the cartridge. I want to have them all nice and neat and pretty on a shelf behind me. I like to show them off. I like to be able to pull it off the shelf and show it to somebody. I like to be able to trade things with friends. You can't do that if it's all digital. If I decide I'm not going to play this game anymore and I want to sell it and I want to buy that game, I can do that. But if it's all digital, you can't do that. And if PlayStation ever decides to shut the servers down for some reason, like Nintendo did with the Wii servers, all of a sudden you don't have Netflix anymore, you don't have the Miiverse anymore, and any games you don't have downloaded onto your console, gone. You just don't have access to them anymore. So it doesn't matter how much money you spent. That's out the window. Whereas if you buy physical copies of games, they can shut the servers down. You could still play your games anytime you want. Now, the downside of the disk drive unit, that's $100 more. So the prevailing rumor for the longest time was PS5 is going to be completely backwards compatible all the way back to PlayStation 1. That had me very excited, I'm not going to lie. I own each console, and I like each console. I like the way each one looks, and everyone's a little different and has its own style and its own vibe to it. But to be honest, if I could have one console hooked up that could play 5 generations of games, well, that thing's going to stay hooked up a lot because I can just jump back and forth without unhooking a console, grabbing another one off the shelf and hooking it up. It's convenience. And Boy, would that $500 be worth it to me if it made that a reality. It'd be worth the $600 to me. That would be like in the zone for me. I would be comfortable with $600 for a machine that played all of PS1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. No problem. No problem. It would be wonderful. Play them all in HD. But that's not the case. What the case actually is it's going to play PS4 games, but only from digital, only from the PlayStation Store. I'm wondering if there's going to be a couple PS3 games in there, but as far as I know at this point, there's not. It's just going to be some updated, cleaned up PS4 games. And I don't know how much you need to update a PS4 game. I mean, games look about as good as they're ever going to look. Once you get to 4K, that's pretty much it. Your eyes can't distinguish more than that. The great graphical leaps of our day are over, the 8-bit to 16 and from Super Nintendo to Nintendo 64. Those graphical leaps are over and done with. It's to the point where our eyes can't distinguish the difference anymore. And so I don't know how much you need to upgrade a PlayStation 4 game in order to think it looks a lot better. But that being aside, that's pretty much where it's at with Sony is PlayStation 4 games will be allowed from the PlayStation Store to play on the PlayStation 5. That's basically it. You're not going to pop a PS1 disc in there, which is disappointing to me. Um, I, I'd really like to try Resident Evil 3 Nemesis with that new controller, because that new controller for the PlayStation is pretty cool looking. So that's the news. The release date's November 12th. It's $399 for the digital only unit without a disk drive, and it's $499, $100 more for the unit with the disk drive. Which, if it's my money, I'm gonna pay that extra 100. I just see it as having more worth and value in the future to me. More mental security as well. I own what I own, and you can't take that, I guess. So, all right, everybody, later.